Hello students, welcome to the class. Today we are going to study about the marketing mix for international marketing. So up till now we have studied about different marketing techniques or different marketing mix pillars for national market. But now we are studying international marketing. That's why we have to decide for that what will be the four pillars which are as similar to that of the national marketing, and what are the things that are different in international marketing than the national marketing. So before studying the actual four pillars, let's look for that what is the international product life cycle, and then I'm going to tell you about one another theory or method which are considered by the organizations when they go for international marketing and deciding the marketing mix for a product that wants to go to international. All right, so let's get started. So firstly, international product life cycle, basically it is similar to that of the product cycle that we have already studied about. This is basically a theory which was given by Raymond Vernon. रेमंड वर्नर ने 1960 में ये इंटरनेशनल पीएलसी की थ्योरी दी थी, वेयर इन इट इज अ मॉडल जो कि ये दिखाता है दैट हाउ a product or a service evolves over time across national boundaries, right? So this theory was developed to show that how a product develops in by companies marketing program in both domestic and foreign platforms. While studying this model, the international product life cycle includes various principles of economics, and there are some standards like market development and economies of scales, and all these things are looked about when we study this theory. So basically, international PLC theory states that रेमंड ने हमें तीन ही स्टेजेस बताए थे फॉर प्रोडक्ट लाइफ साइकिल. फर्स्ट स्टेज वाज इंट्रोडक्शन, सेकेंड स्टेज वाज मैच्योरिटी, एंड थर्ड स्टेज वाज स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन. सो हियर वो हमें क्या बताना चाह रहे थे, that how firstly in introduction stage he said that the products should be manufactured in that country only where it has invented or where it has innovated. जो भी जिस भी country में उस product का origin है, so firstly in introduction stage that product should be manufactured in the home country only, and then afterwards manufacturing it should be served to other countries. The concept of production in home country, that concept was shown in this first stage. Then he said that another stage is maturity stage, wherein he said that maturity is similar to that of the growth stage, that when you have captured a good market and people know about your product, then only you should go for production in the foreign country, because now you would know that you would be earning profit out of that. All right. So in second stage he said this. By standardization, he meant maturity. That standardization is a stage wherein people are, have had enough of your products. There are multiple substitutes that are present for your products, and your product is not something new that only you are serving. So a lot of competition has arisen, and your product has reached to that level wherein the potential customers that it could have captured, it has done everything. So in these three stages he had concluded this theory, but further in this theory some additions were made, and now when we study international product life cycle theory we have 5 stages, right? So let's study them one by one. So 5 stages mein first stage is the introduction stage. wherein new product has been I would not say invented, but कोई भी ऐसी market है जहाँ पे वो product के बारे में knowledge नहीं है. So a new product is there. From zero, from scratch, you have to start in the international market. So the production of the products here can be both in the home market also, or it can be into foreign markets also. There is no compulsion कि जहाँ country of origin है वहीं से production होना चाहिए. Either way we can go for या तो home production या तो foreign country production. So in this stage, it is similar to that of normal PLC, wherein nobody knows about your product. The production cost is very high. The marketing cost has to be incurred, very much, because nobody knows. And, the prices tends to be higher in this stage, because firstly you have to, take out the production cost, the minimum cost that you have incurred. Plus, when in foreign markets, something is sold at a premium price, the customers also get attracted because the price is, looked upon as a factor which determines the quality. Right? So price quality interface is there that, without changing any kind of methodology, by not changing production or anything, we tend to keep our prices higher during this stage so that we can acquire a good amount of customers. So it is similar to that of the foreign markets. The national markets. So when in introduction stage some product is there, so competition is absent because that product is very new, nobody knows about that. The competition comes into later stages when the products move to other stage, right? So at this stage the marketing cost would be very higher, the production cost would be very higher, the pricing might be very higher, because the chances of failure of your products are also good. So the amount of unit that you have sold, you want to earn as much profit as want. And for many time you cannot expect that कि आपको profit earn होगा. In this stage you try to be at a break even point wherein no profit no loss situation is there. At least you recover the production cost. That is your main focus. Next stage is the growth stage. So in growth stage what happens is that now many people know about your product, the required target market has been set, and some of the products you have sold. So at this stage what happens, धीरे धीरे करके थोड़ा competition बढ़ने लगता है. So the prices that you set for your products tend to be a little bit lower, right? Because competition जब आता है तो price आपको automatically down करने पड़ते हैं. There are improvements in the quality, and what happens here is that the sales volume goes very high, so the profit at this stage is also very high. You tend to capture the most amount of customers at this stage, right? And prices here and the promotions are also very high, and the prices tend to be fluctuating. Generally it is kept slightly lower than the introduction stage because the competition has already increased. Now moving towards the stage 3, which is maturity. So maturity is a stage which is a stage wherein आपने जितने number of customers हैं वो तो acquire कर ली हैं, and your growth rate is, you are actually going in a upward direction, यानी कि आप जा तो रहे हैं positive direction में, but your growth rate is decreasing. So the concept, the diminishing marginal utility का जो concept है वो यहाँ पे है कि every unit जब आप serve कर रहे हैं इस stage में, तो every unit serve करने के साथ आपके product की utility जो है वो कम होती जा रही है, right? So here the growth is there, but at a decreasing level. Many products or many substitutes or duplicates of your products are there in the market, right? And if you want to sustain in the market, you have to still spend a lot of on the promotional budget. Then prices tends to get more lower, and here the profit also tends to get lower than the growth stage, right? Next, fourth stage is the saturation stage. So here the saturation stage means that the amount of customers that you wanted to capture, you have already captured it, and there are no more customers that can come to you. So here जब हम बात कर रहे थे मैच्योरिटी स्टेज की, तो मैच्योरिटी स्टेज वाज हियर कि हम ऑलमोस्ट अपनी पीक पर हैं और धीरे धीरे जा रहे हैं. अब यहाँ पीक से जो डाउनफॉल का स्टेज है, दैट इज नोन एज द सैचुरेशन स्टेज. दैट अब सैचुरेट हो चुके हैं, नो मोर कस्टमर्स आर देयर, नो मोर पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ एनी काइंड ऑफ प्रॉफिट्स आर देयर. सो regardless of how much promotion you do, regardless of any technique that you want to apply to your strategy, that would not work because the customer are not going to take your products. And the last stage is the decline stage, wherein आपका product actually जो है लॉस में जा रहा है या फिर मार्केट से खत्म होने की स्टेज पे है, राइट? सो as similar to the product life cycle, what we can do is either we can remove that product from our product line, or either we can make improvement, but it would take a lot of cost. The sales volume decrease a lot, the popularity of the product also decreases. Many new innovative products, सब्स्टिट्यूट भी नहीं कहूंगी, बट इनोवेटिव प्रोडक्ट्स जो है वो आ चुके हैं मार्केट में. सो ये जो है पूरी सेल्स पे बिल्कुल नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट डाल रहे हैं. आपका प्राइसिंग एकदम लो हो जाता है, प्रमोशन बजट आप जितना हाई करना चाहते हैं आप कर सकते हैं, बट देयर इज नो पोटेंशियल मार्केट टू कैप्चर एट दिस स्टेज. ऑलराइट, सो दिस वाज इंटरनेशनल प्रोडक्ट लाइफ साइकिल. नाउ वी मूव टुवर्ड्स EPRG framework. So EPRG framework is basically, it was introduced by Wind, Douglas and Perlmutter. This framework shows the management and their operations and what do management think about operating in the international market. So the practices that the management system wants to do within foreign markets is shown by this particular model. So this framework basically shows the strategic decisions are made in a company, that the way in which the strategic decisions are made, and what is the nature of relationship between company's headquarters and the subsidiary. That how do they operate within headquarter and how they want to operate in the subsidiary, the relationship, the similarity of dissimilarity between these two things is been described by this EPRG framework. So let's study one by one that ये EPRG framework actually क्या है. So basically EPRG में first E is the ethnocentric orientation. So ethnocentric orientation, in this the management not beliefs, it's beliefs. So here the management believes that the marketing practice that are going in the home country would be successful in the foreign markets also. They see that whatever techniques and whatever markets or whatever customers are there in the home country, they believe that it is not true, but they believe that the same sort of customers, the same sort of practices or the same sort of market is there in the foreign country, and we do not need to change our practice, we do not need to implement ourselves, right? So in this orientation, what happens is that foreign markets are just looked like that they are an extended arms of the domestic markets, कि जैसे domestic market है वैसे ही हमारी foreign market भी है, right? So in these kinds of firm who follow this ethnocentric approach, all the foreign market operations, all the plannings and strategizing is done from the home, यानी हेडक्वार्टर्स से, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली जितने भी सब्सिडरीज हैं उन सब में वही रूल्स फॉलो किए जाते हैं. ऑल्सो देयर इज either a very little or there is no differentiation in the product price or any 4 P's according to the international market. Even the home country firm prefers that the hiring of top level executives should be done from home country because the strategies that they are aware with, उसको वापस से नए लोगों को हायर करके समझाना वुड बी वेरी डिफिकल्ट. सो द एक्सपीरियंस दैट दे हैव इन द होम कंट्री दे कैन गो टू दोस कंट्री एंड उसी हिसाब से काम कर सकते हैं. सो ये अप्रोच अपनाया जाता है. सो जनरली अगर मैं बात करूं ऐसे किसी बिजनेस की जो एथनोसेंट्रिक अप्रोच अपना रहे हैं, आई वुड से बास्किन रॉबिन्स. सो बास्किन रॉबिन्स सर्टेन नंबर ऑफ फ्लेवर्स प्रोवाइड करते हैं and they have not adapted their flavors according to Indian taste. उनके जितने भी फ्लेवर्स हैं उतने सारे के सारे फ्लेवर्स सभी कंट्री में उसी हिसाब से मिलते हैं. ये नहीं है कि हाँ आप इंडिया में आए हैं तो आपको मैंगो और खट्टा मीठा फ्लेवर का आइसक्रीम दे दिया. नो. सो देयर इज स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन इन देयर प्रोसेस एंड I would not say their marketing technique is somewhat also similar because वो हमेशा posh areas में ही अपने या फिर ऐसी शॉप जो कि posh area में है प्लस बहुत पॉपुलर है या कुछ मॉल्स हैं उनमें ही अपने आउटलेट्स जो है वो ओपन करती हैं. एंड यू मस्ट हैव सीन उनकी कभी भी एडवर्टाइजमेंट नहीं शो होता है, राइट. Prices are also comparatively high, so they tend to believe that in one country जैसे की चीजें चल रही हैं in all the countries the things will work and it has worked for them as well, right. वो भले ही सेल्स पर्सन जो है अपने कंट्री सॉरी नॉट अपने कंट्री बट फॉरेन कंट्रीज के रखते हैं बिकॉज कम्युनिकेशन और इस सब में गैप है, बट जो टॉप एग्जीक्यूटिव्स हैं उनके दे आर फ्रॉम द फॉरेन कंट्री ओनली. Next is the polycentric orientation. It is just opposite to that of ethnocentric orientation, wherein it is believed that every country, every market and every customer is different, and according to their cultural, economic and environmental aspects we have to look for कि हमें क्या चीजें, क्या products और what adaptations we have to do. ऑलराइट. इसका बहुत अच्छा एग्जाम्पल है डोमिनोज, राइट. डोमिनोज इंडिया में वेज पिज्जाज भी देता है और पनीर पिज्जा एंड ऑल द फार्म हाउस सारी सब्जियां एंड एवरीथिंग दे गिव. सो दे हैव अडेप्टेड देमसेल्व्स अकॉर्डिंग टू इंडियन टेस्ट पैलेट्स. इन जापान एंड चाइना व्हेन दे सर्व, तो जापान और चाइना में मीट एंड चिकन बहुत कम खाया जाता है, राइट. तो वहां पे जो भी उनका प्रेफर्ड मीट होता है दे पुट इन दैट ऑन द पिज्जा, राइट. सो polycentric orientation is wherein every market is believed to be different and adaptations has to be made. एंड हर जगह मार्केटिंग स्ट्रैटेजी, हर जगह प्राइसिंग स्ट्रैटेजी एंड द अडेप्टेशन रिगार्डिंग द प्रोडक्ट्स इज डिफरेंट, राइट. डोमिनोज आप देखिए बहुत अग्रेसिव मार्केटिंग भी करता है इंडिया में, वेयर इन आई डोंट नो अबाउट फॉरेन कंट्रीज की कैसी मार्केटिंग होती है, बट मार्केटिंग बहुत ज्यादा है. एक उसका पर्टिकुलर एरिया है, ऑल्दो वो बहुत पॉश एरियाज में वो लोग भी अपने आउटलेट्स को ऑपरेट करते हैं, बट जनरली जैसे मैंने बास्किन रॉबिन्स का एग्जांपल दिया वो आपको जनरली हर जगह नहीं मिलेगा, बट हर मॉल में आपको डोमिनोज जरूर मिल जाएगा. सो द वे दे वांट टू कैप्चर द मार्केट इज डिफरेंट फॉर डिफरेंट कंट्रीज, राइट. Their subsidiaries or their different outlets in different countries, they formulate their own marketing and operational plans, and from the host country or from the foreign country also they hire people for decision making according to the cultural aspects, right. Next is the regiocentric orientation. So regiocentric orientation means that generally countries which are neighboring countries or countries which are next to one another are said to be considered as a region because it is believed that the countries which are aside from along with one another will have a similar kind of culture. जैसे कि अगर मैं बात करूं इंडिया, Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan, somewhere the culture or the things and that people prefer, the income group, the economy, I would not say everybody's economy is same, but somewhat ये सारे जो है developing nations ही हैं एक तरीके से. So it is believed that you know the group of countries are said to be a union. या फिर अगर मैं यूरोपियन यूनियन की बात करूं तो वो जो भी 28 कंट्रियों का एक यूनियन था, इट वुड बी कंसिडर्ड एज अ रीजन. एंड अगर एक पर्टिकुलर कंट्री में कोई चीज हम मार्केट कर रहे हैं, इट इज बिलीव दैट कि बाकी सभी कंट्रीज में भी वैसा ही मार्केटिंग सिस्टम जो है वो चल जाएगा. सो all the union of different countries or different regions or different states are said to be in a cohesive manner, and it is believed that everything would be similar for all those countries, right? Next is the geocentric orientation, wherein it is believed that कि कोई भी ऐसी organization है with very little modifications, वो एक ऐसी strategy बनाए जहां पे वो globally जो है पूरे वर्ल्ड को एक मार्केट समझे. लाइक कोका कोला या फिर पेप्सी जो है आज के टाइम पे ओवरऑल वर्ल्ड ऑलमोस्ट हर जगह अवेलेबल है. सो विद वेरी लिटिल मॉडिफिकेशंस रिगार्डिंग द मार्केट्स, उनकी मार्केटिंग स्ट्रैटेजी भी बहुत अच्छी है, वेयर इन बहुत ज्यादा एड्स वो हर मार्केट में, चाहे यूएस की मार्केट है चाहे यूके है, डिफरेंट तरीके से थोड़ा बहुत पैकेजिंग में चेंज कर देते हैं, थोड़ा बहुत टेस्ट में चेंज कर देते हैं, बट दे सी होल वर्ल्ड एज वन मार्केट एंड दे वर्क आउट ऑन दैट होल वर्ल्ड और दैट वन मार्केट in a world oriented manner, not different markets but they see everything as one. So उनका approach भी जो है वो world oriented होता है, right? So whatever the similarities and dissimilarities are there, वो देखी जाती है, उससे अपॉर्चुनिटी सीख की जाती है, थोड़ा बहुत मॉडिफिकेशन करके a global strategy is formed to respond the local needs. Right? So this is the EPRG framework that the company's management follows in order, you know, these are different systems. So different countries prefer different things और उनके लिए ये अलग अलग चीजें काम भी आती हैं. तो according to whatever suits for the company, they can go for any one of these approaches, right? Now we talk about the marketing mix. Marketing mix in international market is also similar to that of the normal marketing mix, which is product, price, place, promotion, right? So let's see one by one. So product is generally, you know, thing which is offered into the market for customers' benefit. So when going for international market, you know, we consider various different factors like what are the cultural background for the you know, product that we are serving, what is the religion followed by the people in that country, what are the buying habits, what are the income levels, what is the disposable income, or what is the demographic categorization in that country or in that market. So according to that, we have to identify that what are the needs of that particular market, and उस हिसाब से हमें एक प्रोडक्ट जो है वो डेवलप करना होता है, राइट? ऑल दीज थिंग्स वी ऑल्सो लुक फॉर इन दी होम कंट्री ऑल्सो, जब हम नॉर्मली मार्केटिंग मिक्स बना रहे होते हैं. बट हियर द रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट जो है वो बहुत ज़्यादा करना पड़ता है, बिकॉज एवरी मार्केट, एवरी पर्सन, everybody's income is different. So what is preferred by whom, and how we want to actually go to international markets. So how do we adopt ourselves in such a way that every customer's and every market's need is been fulfilled? Like here I have mentioned an example also, McDonald's. McDonald's is a global player wherein, you know, according to the market, it will, modify its product. In India, it serves veg also. So in India, beef, that is cow's meat, is cow is worshipped, so we cannot eat its meat. So India में मैकडोनल्ड्स बीफ के बर्गर्स नहीं देते हैं, राइट? अब मेक्सिको में क्या है, दे प्रेफर चिली सॉस, राइट? सो द बर्गर्स आर सर्व्ड विद चिली सॉस, वेयर इन इंडिया में मस्टर्ड सॉस ज्यादा प्रेफर की जाती है, तो बर्गर्स मस्टर्ड सॉस के साथ या बर्गर सॉस के साथ सर्व किए जाते हैं, राइट? सो ऑल दीज अडेप्टेशंस हैव टू बी डन in the marketing mix while deciding that what kind of product should be selected, or what our product is and how do we modify that product to go for international market, right? Next is the pricing. So pricing is basically कि हम कैसे cost करें, and pricing includes our production cost, which includes fixed and variable cost, and on those fixed and variable costs we put in certain margin in order to get profit. Because अगर हम pricing ही नहीं ठीक से करेंगे, then what will happen, actual जो profit है हमारा वो हम नहीं कमा पाएंगे. So the normal pricing barriers that, or the pricing difficulties that the firms have in home country is similar to that of the foreign country, and some additional factors are also there. First is the cost of transport. बहुत, I would not say पूरा product transport होता है, but जो भी components है, parts है, ingredients है, all these things are transport. That cost is added on. There are tariffs and import duties also that लगती हैं प्रोडक्ट के इंपोर्ट एंड एक्सपोर्ट पे, वो भी एक टेक्निकल चैलेंज हो जाता है, क्योंकि वो ऑटोमेटिकली जो प्राइसिंग है, द बेस प्राइस ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट, उसको इंक्रीज कर रहा है. द एक्सचेंज रेट फ्लक्चुएशन, इट ऑल्सो इम्पैक्ट्स हाउ द प्रोडक्ट इज बिन प्राइस्ड. द पर्सनल डिस्पोजेबल इनकम ऑफ द टारगेट मार्केट, the type of currency that we want to deal in, and what are the economic situations of the country. These all things in a cumulative manner, or some of these factors for every firm जो है, ये कुछ additional factors हैं जब हम international marketing में जाते हैं, that hinders or that provides big challenges while pricing the product right. Because अगर हम बहुत ज़्यादा ही heavily priced कर देंगे, then also customers will not be accepting our product, और बहुत lower भी करेंगे तो the price quality interface factor would not वो हम achieve नहीं कर पाएंगे. So these factors have to be considered also. Now we move towards the place. Place is basically कि at the right time, at the to the right customers, हम कैसे अपने product को पहुंचाएं. So that transit is known as place. So the right kind of supply chain and the distribution system has to be dealt with in order to make the product reach to the final customers, right? Because in foreign countries there would be many different products which would be somewhat similar to that of you, with different varieties, more competitive than the usual national market. So the main concern is the delivery of that product to the end user. So this is also a very big challenge that the businesses have to look out for. They require to examine the distribution chains, the supply chains for each and every nation that would be different from one another. For example, अगर मैं US में बात करूं, there are many middlemen which and a systematic distribution channel is there, wherein अगर हम इंडिया में बात करें तो legally यहाँ पे भी middlemen होते हैं, but the amount of or the number of middlemen can be reduced, or there are also different methods by which हम products को end users तक पहुंचा सकते हैं. So for every market that distribution chain would be different from one another. The businesses will also need to analyze and verify that who they would like to sell their products to, and those retailers or those final sellers वो कौन सा डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन चेन प्रेफर करते हैं. The businesses also have to look out for that. So these are the challenges that we have to look while deciding place. Then is the promotion. So जैसे कि प्रोडक्ट डिसीजन हमने लिया या फिर कोई भी ऐसा डिसीजन लिया, दैट सारी चीजें हम मैनेज कर सकते हैं, बट प्रमोशन इन डिफरेंट कंट्रीज आर डिफरेंट, राइट. हर चीज प्रमोशन इज नॉट जस्ट एडवर्टाइजमेंट. द वे यू आर पैकिंग इट, द लेबलिंग इट, how to attract the customers, how to make people aware of your product, all these things come under the promotion. So जब हम promotion की बात कर रहे हैं, one thing that is working very well in a country would be offensive in other country. Every country would have, or every region I would say, would have different language, different political scenarios, different cultural attitude, and different religious practices. So according to that, in every region, in every country, everything has to be done differently. No two countries in the world would be accepting same kind of promotion that you are doing. For say in China, red color is lucky, right? And here when हम red की बात करते हैं in India, so red is a color which signifies strength, which signifies happiness, right? और चाइना में अगर if a male person has worn red, it would be considered good. But in India, अगर कोई आदमी red कलर की शर्ट पहन के एडवर्टाइजमेंट कर रहा है, that would be said funny, right? Because the red is associated with females here, right? And for example, अगर मैं wedding के किसी एडवर्टाइजमेंट की बात करनी हूँ, so in India, for Hindus, the color white in some happy occasion is not उसे अच्छा नहीं माना जाता. But in Americas, in other countries, the wedding happens in the white dress only. So these are the cultural differences that have to be looked upon in order to strategize that what things will suit which kind of market and what is the cultural background, and according to that the promotional activities have to be planned so that it does not affect the appeal of your product towards the customer, and it should be in such a manner packed and advertised or promoted in such a manner that it should attract the customer and not give a negative impression. So this is how we plan for the marketing mix in international marketing, right? So students, this was all about the marketing mix in international marketing. I hope you like the class and see you for the next time. Thank you.